Lesson 314, Midsegments, Part 1. And I think this teacher's having some issues with the student because she says, there aren't any icons to click. It's a chalkboard. Interesting. Okay, the objectives in this lesson are to identify the bases, legs, or midsegment of a trapezoid, and to find the length of the midsegment of a trapezoid or triangle. Some of the key terms that we're going over in this lesson are bases of a trapezoid, legs of a trapezoid, and the midsegment of a trapezoid. Now let's get started with trapezoids. It's a quadrilateral with exactly one pair of parallel sides, and those sides are called bases of the trapezoid, and you can see the arrows indicating the parallel, and then they have identified it base, and there's two of them. And the non-parallel sides, you can see over to the sides, are called the legs of the trapezoid. Now the orientation or the direction of the trapezoid does not affect which sides are bases and which sides are legs. So if this particular trapezoid was sitting sideways, the bases would still be the same and the legs would be the same. Now for the midsegment of a trapezoid, it connects the midpoints of the trapezoid's legs. So right here is going to be the midpoint of the left leg. And you can tell it's a midpoint. They've given you the little congruent marks. And then over here on the right side, we see the midpoint and we see these sets of congruent marks. Although technically not part of the trapezoid, the midsegment is extremely useful in solving many types of problems. Because the midsegment lies exactly halfway between the two bases, and we shorten them, we call them, instead of base and base, we call them base 1 and base 2. The length of the midsegment should be the average of the lengths of the bases. You remember how to do an average. I'm going to take B1 plus B2 equals, and then whatever it equals, I divide by 2, and ta-da, I have an average. So the length of the midsegment of a trapezoid is equal to 1/2 the sum of the lengths of the bases. And we're going to see that written out, I bet. Oh, no, I'm going to go right into examples for you. How about that? Let me get my pen ready. Ink color. Change it to that bright blue that can be seen everywhere. Okay, it says for each trapezoid, name the following. First, I'm going to name the bases, and I'm going to go ahead and use the abbreviated version. Now, when I name my bases, I like to just always call the smaller one B1, and I'm pretty consistent with that. I will always name the smaller one B1. And then it says, oh, so I better name the bases. This is going to be Fi, and the base 1 is going to be DG. Now the legs, you're going to go all the way down. Okay, so this is a leg, and then I come over here, and I have another leg. And those look like it's DF, and look how I'm putting the segment bar up on top, because they are segments, and that's IG. And then my midsegment is going to be that right there, which is EH. All right, let's move on to the next one. Oh, this is just showing you what the actual answers are. They added that they are the parallel sides, the legs were the non-parallel sides, and they just added that the midsegment connects the midpoints of the legs. Okay, it says show all our work clearly and carefully. So on this, we've got to find the measure of MN, and MN is the midsegment. So let me write out this for you. This is what we said, that we're getting an average of the sum of the bases. Remember, I always call my smallest one B1. This is B2. So I'm going to have HJ plus KL is going to equal MN, which is my midpoint. So I'm going to plug in the information they gave me. HJ is 28, KL is 54, and that equals the measure of MN. So what I do is I'll just go ahead and multiply both sides of my problem. I'm going to change my ink color here for just a second. I will multiply each side of my problem by 2 because I want to get rid of it. Okay? Oh, yeah, I did it right. Never mind. So these 2's right here will actually reduce to 1, and 1 times 1 is 1. Pretty easy. So I will just be left on this side with 28 plus 54, which is 82, equals 2 times MN. Now I just have to get that 2 back over there where it's supposed to be, and I get 41 equals MN. Well, that's what it asked me, was to find MN. So we're going to say MN equals 41 feet. And that's my final answer. And there's the way that they worked it out. Same thing, but it looks a little different. They didn't use so much algebra, but I wanted to use the algebra so you know how to work it with any problem. Okay, look at this trapezoid. They flipped it over on its side. And remember how they said it doesn't change who's parallel and who's not? So these guys are still parallel even though they've been flipped over on their sides. And we see here that base 1 is going to equal 47.5 feet. And it looks like, it says find ST. So this is going to be our midpoint, or our mid-segment. And they want us to find ST. Okay, I would still set my problem up the same way. I'm going to have QV plus ST is going to equal RU. RU, that's cute. RU. Y'all may not get it because it's my brain acting silly. Okay, QV 57.5 plus ST equals, and RU is going to be 75. Well, just like I did last time, I'm going to multiply both sides by 2, so I've just got rid of that fraction because we do not like fractions. So I'm going to end up with 57.5 plus ST equals 150. Then I subtract 47.5 from both sides. So I have ST equals, and I gotta actually look. Can't do this one in my head. Oh, where I was looking isn't actually telling me what it is. So 150 minus 47.5 is going to give me 102.5. Oops. So ST equals 102.5 feet. And then on the answer key, this is the way they gave it to you. Because remember, what they're showing you right here is that you're adding these two together, dividing by 2, and getting an average. And that average is going to be RU. So that's how they've worked this out. And look, they still got the same answer. Okay, to summarize this lesson, the parallel sides of a trapezoid are called the bases, and the non-parallel sides are called the legs. The midsegment of a trapezoid is the segment that joins the midpoints of the legs, and the Trapezoid Midsegment theorem states that the length of the midsegment of a trapezoid is equal to 1/2 the sum of the lengths of its bases, and the midsegment is parallel to the trapezoid's bases. When you get finished with this, you should review the LMS lesson, the Midsegments Part 1, and complete the student guide. Be sure to read pages 89 through 92 in the reference guide, and complete 2 through 12 even in your problem sets. And if you haven't already talked to me about any questions you may have, this would be the time to do it after you complete the problem sets. There was not a quiz for 314, and so you should just be moving on to 315 when you get finished with this problem set. Thank you for listening.